Hi guys! Welcome to an introduction to film studies. I'm coming at you today with a close-up. This is not an extreme close-up, but it is a close-up, and film angles, distances, proximity, and other types of cinematic choices are going to be just a small portion of what we take a look at here in this unit or in this course, depending on which class you're in at this time. So, basically, there are three approaches from which you can study film. I'm going to back up from this close-up here. So back to a normal shot. This, by the way, would be a high angle, which should make you feel kind of small. We'll talk more about those types of things. But back to a normal location. Sorry about that sun right behind me. Basically, there are three approaches to studying film. If you're going to study film, you're going to have to take one road or another. And I made this little funny little map right here for you guys to see. So it's like film is a city, and as you can see, you can take one of three highways into that city. So what are those three highways? Well, I am here to tell you that today, and they are the basic approaches, again, for studying film. So your first highway into the city of film or into the studies of film would be literary. Under the literary umbrella, there's going to be several sub topics that you're going to take a look at, and those are going to be the same types of things you would study if you were in a class that was looking at novels, which we'll do later, and perhaps if this is an intro to lit class. If this is just a film class, then this is going to be our umbrella terms and approaches for the whole semester. So again, first one is literary. Let me tell you what comes under the literary category here, and I would suggest jotting these down. Plot and characters, the writing of the script, the screenplay, whether or not there's conflict. Of course there will be, or the story isn't worth telling usually. The setting or the time and place where the action takes place, the location. And the time too matters. So is it 1980 or is it 2018? It makes a big difference. The themes that you see, the point of view from which the story is told, the moods, the symbolism, the character analysis. In some ways, it's going to be part of your literary aspects. That's your first road into studying film. You can take other approaches though, and the reason, if you think about it, that there's so many ways to consider film is because it's such a huge collaborative art form. If you've ever watched any of the Academy Awards, I was going to say Tonys, but those are for stage. If you've ever watched the Academy Awards, those things go on and on and on because there's so many categories, there's so many hands involved in making a film. If you watch the credits at the end of a film, those too can go on for just a very long time with producers and screenplay writers and actors and voice coaches and costume people and all of that stuff. But anyway, I'm getting off topic a little bit. I get excited about film, and that's hopefully a good thing. Again, first category is literary, and that's going to be all your mood and conflict writing, point of view, characterization, symbolism, and yeah, all of those things. Your next aspect for studying film is going to be, or your next road into the city of film, is the dramatic road. And for that one, think of anything that has to do with drama. So if you could see it on stage, and it won't cover everything, include everything that you would see on stage, but largely the acting, the sets, the costumes, the makeup, consider colors, and you have symbolism here. So these categories cross over each other too. So don't be surprised by that. So dramatic aspects. And we'll be taking a look at all three of these different roads into film. Your third road into film. And this is one where you really get away from traditional literature and get into the technology that film allows you to think about. And that is your cinematic road into studying film. So when you're talking about cinematography, you're talking about camera angles, you're talking about, like I did before, the close-up, Here's an extreme close-up. Sorry about that. And I'll back up a little bit, and then you get a body shot. I can't, my webcam won't do that for me, but low angles looking up and high angles looking down, and the difference that those things make in how you perceive what you're seeing. That's all part of the cinematic aspects of film. You're also going to be considering in those cinematic aspects lighting, music, sound effects, editing, special effects, framing, composition, a term called mise en scene, which means everything that shows up visually in the frame of a film. So I'm really excited too. So again, just a quick review. The three aspects are literary, dramatic, and cinematic. 3 roads into studying film. We're going to take a look at all of these more in depth if we're in Intro to Film, and a little less so if you are in an Intro to Lit class. And the different aspects that make up those. I want you to be aware of that and to watch the films that we watch with those things in mind. Look for the choices that the filmmakers are making, and see what you can see that maybe you wouldn't have seen before. And I look forward to digging more deeply into a couple films with you, and we'll take it from there. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.